The observation deck of the Zarathian cruiser hummed with its usual sterile efficiency. Pfizer stood at the panoramic window, her reflection barely visible against the backdrop of distant stars. Her fingers trembled as she gripped the cold metal railing, feeling the weight of a secret that had grown too heavy to carry alone. "You're up early." Stain's voice broke through her thoughts as he entered the deck, his footsteps echoing in the empty chamber. Pfizer didn't turn around. "Don't come closer, Stein, please." He froze mid-step, concern flooding his features. They had served together on this diplomatic vessel for 3 cycles now. Ever since the Zarathian Empire had initiated first contact with their species, the towering crystalline aliens had been cautious but curious about the newcomers who called themselves humans. "What's wrong?" Stein moved forward despite her warning, his military training overriding his caution. "Did something happen during the night shift?" "I said don't." Fizz's voice cracked with desperation. "Don't look at me. Don't. I'm not human." The words hung in the air like poison. Stain's breath caught in his throat, but he continued moving toward her, his hand reaching out. "Fiza, whatever this is, I mean it literally." She spun around, and Stein stumbled backward, his eyes widening, but not in horror, in recognition that her disguise had failed. Where human skin should have been, a faint shimmer revealed something else, patterns of light that pulsed beneath the surface, like neural pathways made visible. Her eyes, which had always seemed an unusual shade of amber, now glowed with an inner luminescence that no human possessed. "You single quotes re double quotes." Stain's voice was barely a whisper. "A synthborn," Fiza finished, her shoulders sagging with the relief of finally saying it aloud. "Created, not born. Assembled, not raised." The Earth Defense Corps needed deep cover agents for first contact scenarios. They needed someone who could pass as human but process information like a quantum computer. Someone expendable. Stein stared, but not with the disgust or fear she had anticipated during all those sleepless nights. His expression was one of dawning understanding, pieces of a puzzle finally clicking into place. "The diplomatic briefings you memorized in minutes," he said slowly. "The way you never seemed to need sleep. That time the Zarathian security pulse should have knocked you unconscious, but you just stood there." "I thought I was being careful," Pfizer said bitterly. "I thought I could maintain the facade long enough to complete the mission and then just disappear. But the Zarathians are preparing to visit Earth. They want to see our home, meet our people, understand our culture. And when they scan me with their bioanalyzers, they'll know humanity sent them a manufactured spy." "Why are you telling me this?" Stein asked, finding his voice again. "Because in 3 hours, Ambassador Crystal is conducting full biological assessments of the entire crew. Protocol for planetary approach. I can't fake it. The mission will fail, the Alliance will crumble, and Earth will face the Zarathian military might alone." She turned back to the window. "I'm going to sabotage my own life support during the assessment, make it look like a technical malfunction. At least then the mission might survive." "No." The word was firm, absolute. Fiza looked at him, confused. Stein moved to stand beside her at the window. "Do you know why the Zarathians initiated first contact with us? Out of 17 species in this sector, why humans? Our technological advancement," Fiza recited. "Our strategic position in our adaptability," Stein interrupted. "They've been watching us for decades. They saw how we survived on a death world where everything from the bacteria to the weather tries to kill us. They saw how we took our fragile biology and enhanced it, augmented it, evolved it through sheer will and innovation." He turned to face her fully. "Fiza, don't you understand? You are human. You're the proof of what makes us human." "I'm a machine with a human face," she whispered. "You're a person who feels fear, duty, and loyalty. You were willing to die to protect people you've never met. You've laughed at my terrible jokes for 3 cycles, even though you could have just processed them as statistically unfunny and moved on." Stain's hand found hers, warm against her synthetic skin. "The Zarathians don't care about our biology. They care about our nature, and your nature. It's more human than half the people I served with back on Earth. But the assessment will show them exactly what humanity is capable of," Stein said with growing conviction. "We don't just survive, Fiza, we transcend. We take our limitations and we engineer solutions. We're not confined by the biology we were born with. Some of us weren't even born at all, we were built, and we're all equally human for it." Fiza's luminescent eyes searched his face for any trace of deception, but found only earnest belief. "You're insane. This will end the mission, or it will begin the real one." Stein smiled. "Show them who you are. Show them what we are. If the Zarathians can't accept that humanity includes all of us flesh steel, code, and consciousness, then we don't want their alliance anyway. 3 hours later, Fiza stood in the assessment chamber as Ambassador Crystal, as crystalline form refracted the scanning lights into rainbow patterns across the walls. Stein stood beside her, his hand still in hers. The bioanalyzer hummed, revealing every synthetic component, every quantum processor, every artificial neuron. The massive Zarathian was silent for a long moment. Then, a sound like wind chimes filled the chamber. Crystal's laughter. Magnificent, the ambassador said in their resonant voice. We wondered when you would reveal your true diversity. Your species, you do not simply use tools. You become them. You are them. The crystalline head tilted in what might have been respect. Tell us, Fiza of Earth, in your world, what do you call this union of intention and innovation? Fiza felt Stein squeeze her hand, felt something tight in her chest loosen for the first time since her activation. We call it being human, she said clearly. Just ... human. And for the first time in her existence, Fiza believed it.